You know the feeling. It's Sunday afternoon, maybe early evening. The weekend should still be in full swing, right? But instead of relaxing, this little cloud of anxiety starts to creep in. That feeling, that dread about the work week just around the corner can totally poison the last few hours of your freedom. Well, today, we're going to tear that feeling apart, figure out what it is, and give you the tools to take your weekend back.
So what is going on here? Why does Sunday evening, a time that's supposed to be chill, so often feel more stressful than a Monday morning meeting? It's this super common thing. People call it the Sunday Scaries. And it turns out there's some really fascinating science behind why our own brains decide to sabotage our peace and quiet. Let's dig in.
All right, first things first. If you want to deal with something, you got to know what to call it. So let's put a name to this feeling that has a nasty habit of hijacking our free time.
The official term for this is anticipatory anxiety. It's not the stress of the thing itself, it's the dread you feel before it even happens. Your brain isn't just thinking, ugh, Monday. No, it's running a full-blown, high-definition simulation of the worst-case scenario, and it's playing that terrible movie on a loop.
And this, right here, is the absolute key. This quote just nails it. The anxiety, the dread, that mental hamster wheel of negativity, that is often way more painful and exhausting than whatever Monday is actually going to be like. We really do suffer more in our imagination than we ever do in reality.
So what is actually going on inside our heads that gets this worry loop started? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the brain mechanics behind this whole thing. Think about your brain as having two basic modes. When you're busy, deep in a task, having a great conversation, your brain is focused. But when you finally try to kick back and relax on a Sunday, your brain becomes unfocused. And when it does that, it has this tendency to default to what you could call a worrying screensaver.
Now, this screensaver isn't just a metaphor. It's a real brain system called the Default Mode Network, or DMN for short. It fires up whenever we're not focused on something specific. And what does it love to do? Oh, just its greatest hits. Chewing on old problems, worrying about what's next, and replaying every awkward thing we've ever said. It's basically your brain's built-in worry machine.
And if that wasn't enough, there's another layer to this problem. It's called the Zeigarnik Effect. This is this weird little quirk of our brains where we are literally hardwired to obsess over unfinished business more than the stuff we've already checked off. That project you didn't quite finish, those emails you still have to answer, your brain keeps them open like 100 browser tabs, just eating up your mental RAM and creating this constant humming tension.
So, just to recap, you've got your brain's default worry network going full blast, and it's obsessing over every single open tab in your mind. You'd think that's enough, right? Nope. Your body is getting ready for one final gut punch. And it's called shift shock. This is like psychological whiplash. It's the jarring, sudden transition from the total freedom of the weekend back to the rigid structure of the work week. Your body actually anticipates this jolt by flooding your system with cortisol, the main stress hormone. So you are literally, physically, feeling the stress of Monday before it's even here. Okay, so we've named the monster and we understand how it works. And yeah, it might sound a little bit grim, but here's the good news. And this is the most important part. You can absolutely break this cycle. So let's get into two really powerful science-backed tools you can start using, like today.
Our first strategy is so simple, you might not believe how well it works. It's called cognitive offloading, and it's all about getting those worries out of your head and onto the page.
Here's how you do it. You just get a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and you write down every single thing that's buzzing around in your mind. Every task, every worry, get it all out. By doing this, you are physically moving the burden from your brain's very limited working memory to an outside source. This super simple act tells your brain, hey, this is captured, it's safe, you can let go now. It allows your brain to finally close all those open tabs.
All right, our second tool is a bit more formal, and it's designed to build a rock-solid wall between your work life and your personal life. It's called the Shutdown Ritual.
This idea comes from the author Cal Newport, and a shutdown ritual is just a consistent routine, a set of actions that you do at the very end of your workday to signal that work is over. Done. Finito. It's not just about snapping your laptop shut, it's about creating a powerful psychological boundary that your work brain is not allowed to cross. So, how do you do it? Simple. First, do a final quick scan of your emails and to-do lists just to make sure there are no emergencies. But the most important part, and this might feel a little silly at first, but stick with me, is the verbal cue. You actually say a simple phrase out loud, something like, "shutdown complete." It sounds kind of goofy, but it acts like a powerful command to your brain. It's the final word that the workday is over, and it helps you cleanly separate your work self from your home self.
So let's just quickly run through our weekend saving toolkit. First, you name it. This isn't some vague feeling, it's anticipatory anxiety. Second, you understand it. It's your brain's default mode network and that nagging Zeigarnik effect. And finally, you manage it with 2 killer strategies: cognitive offloading and the shutdown ritual.
And that really brings us to the final and frankly much more fun question. Once you stop spending your Sunday dreading Monday, what are you going to do with all that time you just got back? What will you do with your reclaimed weekend? It's a pretty cool shift in perspective, isn't it? And it's a great reminder that your free time is actually yours to enjoy.